Okay, find the question was find two numbers such that the mean proportional between them is 28 and the third proportional between them is 224. So I say let the two numbers be x and y. Okay, since uh, 28 is the mean proportional between them,
And 224 is the third proportion.
since 28 is the mean proportional between x and y, therefore x 28 y are in proportion. Okay, so if three numbers are in proportion, we can write x by 28 is equal to 28 by y. Okay, also since 224 is the third proportional between them, okay, so therefore x, y and 224 are in proportion. Okay, so therefore this means x by y must be equal to y by 224. Okay, so from here we get one equation. From this we'll get one equation, from this we'll get another equation which we have to solve. Okay, so from here we get xy is equal to 28 square. Okay, and from here we get y square is equal to 224x. Okay, now we are going to solve these two equations. So equation number 1, equation number 2. Okay, so how to solve these two equations? From 1 we get x is equal to 28 square by y. Okay, from 1, putting this in 2, we get, put the value, y square is equal to 224 and x is 28 square by y. Okay, so this means y cube must be equal to 224 into 28 square. Okay, now how to find y? We prime factorize. Instead of multiplying will, after multiplying you will have to take a cube root. Okay, so instead of doing that, the easier method is take the prime factorization. Prime factorize 224. So what do you get? In place of 224 you can write, how many 2's are there? 5. So 2 to the power of 5 into 7. Okay, and what about 28? 28 is 2 square, 4 into 7, right? So 2 square into 7, prime factorization of 28 square. So this means 2 to the power of 5 into 7 into, applying the laws of indices, 2 to the power of 4 into 7 square. So you get 2 to the power of 5 plus 4, 9 into 7 cube, which can be written as, we want to write this in the power of 3 because I have a y cube here. Okay, so I can write this as 2 cube into 7 whole cube. So this means, people are late. That means y is cube root of 2 cube into 7 whole cube, which is 2 cube into 7. So this is what, 8 into 7, right? 56. So x is 56. How to get the value of y? You put it in any of the two equations. You put it in any of the two equations. Okay, let's see. Y we have got as 56. Okay, so let us put it in the first equation. Xy is equal to 28 square. So from 1, xy is equal to 28 square. Mute your audio. Whoever's audio is on, please mute it. Okay, so you have x into 56 is equal to 28 square. So therefore x is 28 square divided by 56. This is 28 into 28 divided by 56. This will cancel twice. Cancel 14 times, equal to 14. Hence, the numbers are x is equal to 14 and y is equal to 56. Okay? No issues here.
No, sir.
X and y was what? Why? How did we get the two equations? It was said that 28 is the mean proportional between x and y. So therefore, 28 must lie between x and y. And it was also said that 224 is the third proportion. It was also said that 224 is the third proportion between x and y. Third proportion means y must be the mean proportion between x and 224. Okay, so from here we are getting the second equation. This all follows from the definition of proportion. Okay, so can we proceed now to the property of proportion or any other problem? No problem.
No, sir, no problem.
Okay, properties of proportion. The first property here is called invertendo. That is, I have a proportion a by b is equal to c by d, or a is to b is equal to c is to d, whichever way you prefer to write it. Okay, the best way is to write it in a fractional form. It's easier for calculations and to understand also. Now, invertendo simply means that if a by b is equal to c by d, then the ratios on each side of the inequality, in fact, each side of the equality can be inverted, can be taken as reciprocal, is equal to d by c. This is what invertendo is. You all know this, right? So a special name has been given to you in ratios. It's called invertendo, this property. Next property is alternando. If you have a proportion given, a by b is equal to c by d, then this proportion can be written as AD is equal to BC. This means that this now can be written as A by C dividing both sides by C, dividing both sides by CD. You get is equal to B by D. Okay, even this is obvious. We have already done all this in simple equations. Any problem with invertendo and alternando? No. So what have we done here? Dividing both sides by CD. See, if you divide this by CD, divide this by CD, you get this. Okay, so basically A by B is equal to C by D means you can write A by C is equal to B by D. This is what it means. Okay. Componendo, given a proportion A by B is equal to C by D. Okay. If you add 1 to both sides, okay, you get componendo. And then take the LCM. Okay, this is the property. Okay, so that means, say if I have a proportion like half is equal to 2 by 4, then I can write from componendo, I can write 1 plus 2 by 2 is equal to 2 plus 4 by 4. Okay, this follows from componendo. Dividendo, same thing, A by B, given a proportion A by B is equal to C by D. If I subtract 1 from both sides, A by B minus 1 is equal to C by D minus 1, and then take the LCM, you get A minus B is equal to C minus D by D. This property is called dividendo. Say I have half is equal to 2 by 4, then I can write 1 minus 2 by 2 is equal to 2 minus 4 by 4. This is what the property is. Okay. Now combining both, you can get the property componendo and dividendo. Now see, from componendo, what do we have? If A by B, given A by
So
B,
explain dividendo once more.
dividendo. Okay. Now in dividendo, you have a given proportion A by B is equal to C by D. In order to get the property dividendo, what we do is we subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, we subtract 1 from both sides. Now after taking the LCM, we are getting the property of dividendo. Understood? Now getting the property is will not be given. How you are using the property will be given. Okay, so if you have dividendo, um, if you know that for a given proportion A by B is equal to C by D, you can write this. Then this is the idea that you must know. That is, given half is equal to 2 by 4, you can write it in this way. Okay, that means numerator minus denominator divided by the denominator for the first ratio is equal to numerator minus the denominator divided by the denominator for the second ratio. Yes, any problem? Now,
No, sir.
so this is what dividendo is, but we normally use the combination of componendo and dividendo, uh, which is called componendo and dividendo. If I have A by B is equal to C by D, then from componendo, so all I'm deriving, which is not there. Okay, from componendo, you can write A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. For the same proportion, for this proportion from dividendo, you can write A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. Okay, call this 1, call this 2. So if I divide 1 by 2, we get A plus B by B divided by A minus B by B. Put in brackets is equal to C plus D by D divided by C minus D by D. Okay, so what happens? B and B cancel from here, D and D cancel from here. Ultimately, this is the property that we get, and this is the property that we are going to use. Okay, meaning of this property. An example, let us take an example, the same example. Let us say 3 by, this time let us take 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by half. This is a proportion. Okay, if I want to use componendo and dividendo, what will I do? See, this is my first numerator and this is my first denominator. This is my second numerator, this is my second denominator. According to this property, first numerator plus the first denominator divided by the first numerator minus the first denominator must be equal to second numerator plus second denominator divided by, oh sorry, this is 1 by 2. This is second numerator plus second denominator divided by second numerator minus second denominator. You can check that these two are equal. See, this comes to what? 9 by minus 3. And this comes to 3 by minus 1. Both sides are equal to minus 3. Yes. So this holds. For any given proportion, this property holds. Understood? That is, you are actually what you are doing. You are transforming one proportion to some other proportion. That is what you are actually doing. But anyway, what you must remember is that you, given a proportion a by b is equal to c by d, you can write a plus b by a minus b is equal to c plus d by c minus d. See, I have given you here numerator 1 by denominator 1, numerator 2 by denominator 2. So you can add up the numerator and denominator of the first fraction divided by the numerator and denominator of that's the same fraction, the difference of the numerator and denominator. And similarly for your second fraction also. The next property is called convertendo. Okay, convertendo actually comes from dividendo. If I have a by b is equal to c by d as my given proportion, okay, then by dividendo I can write a minus b by b is equal to c minus d by d. Okay, so I must have b by a minus b is equal to d by c minus d. Okay, this is what convertendo is. And addendo, this, the name of this property is not given in your textbook. So a by, if I have a proportion a by b is equal to c by d for any two ratios, then I can write a, both the fractions or both the ratios must be equal to this fraction. If I have 3, a by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f, then I can write a plus c plus e divided by b plus d plus f. Okay, you can check this also. Let's see, let's take an example in order to check. For addendo, let us take this proportion. 9 by 3 is equal to 3 by 1. Okay, this is a proportion. This proportion is the same as 9 plus 3 by 3 plus 1. Check whether this is equal to this or not. This is equal to 12 by 4, which is again equal to 3, isn't it? This is 3, this is 3. Okay, so these are the properties. But what we must know is how to use the properties. Okay, so coming to the application, look at this sum. 8a minus 5b. divided by 8c minus 5d is equal to 8a plus 5b divided by 8c plus 5d. This is given, okay? This proportion is given. And you have to show that A, B, C, D are in proportion. Or you have to show that, see, I have written here, they have stated the problem in this way, given this proportion, okay? You have to show that A by B is equal to C by D. Or the question could have been stated in a different manner. Given this, prove that A, B, C, D are in proportion. So whether I say explicitly that prove that A by B is equal to C by D is the same as saying prove that A, B, C, D are in proportion. Okay. So now the thing that you must realize here is that you have A and B in this, and you have A and B in this. Okay. And if you see, if I add these two, what will cancel? This will cancel, isn't it? With this, if I subtract these two, this will cancel with this. Similarly, in the denominator, if you see, you have a C and D here, and you have a C and D here. If you add these two, this will cancel with this. If you subtract, this will cancel with this. That means adding these two and adding these two, you will get something in which something is cancelling. Subtracting these two also, something will cancel. Similarly for the denominator also. And where do you have addition and subtraction of denominators? Only in componendo and dividendo. Given a proportion A by B is equal to C by D, A plus B by A minus B must be equal to C plus D by C minus D. So you clearly see this is the addition of the numerator and denominator. This is the subtraction of the numerator and denominator. Similarly for C by D also, this is the addition and this is subtraction of the numerator and denominator. But here, if I add these two, this numerator and this numerator, if I add these two, these are all different, right? Nothing will cancel. I will get, I mean, there's an 8a and a 5b, and I have a C and a D here. So nothing will cancel. In such a case, what I would prefer is to take A and B in the numerator and the denominator on one side. So what I do is I write 8a minus 5b by 8a plus 5b is equal to 8c minus 5d by 8c plus 5d. Okay, this is by what? By alternando. In the problem, if you see with the way I have solved, I have taken the plus sign on top, the minus sign below. Similarly in this side also. Okay, but this time I'm taking the minus sign on top and the plus sign below. Means the same thing, you will get the same thing. Okay, so let us proceed this way. The main idea here is to get A and the B on one side, C and D on the other side, so that you can add and subtract the numerators and denominators. So this time here I have numerator of the first fraction plus the denominator divided by numerator minus denominator. This is by componendo and dividendo. Similarly, I do for the second fraction also. Xc minus 5d plus 8c plus 5d. This is the numerator, this is the denominator. Okay, and we take all these within brackets. Eight c minus 5d minus 8c minus plus 5d. Okay, so this now simplifies to 8a minus 5b. So open the brackets first, plus 8a plus 5b divided by 8a minus 5b. Now if you open this bracket, the signs are going to change. So minus 8a minus 5b is equal to 8c minus 5d plus 8c plus 5d divided by 8c minus 5d minus 8c minus 5d. Okay. So now see what cancels here. Plus 5b minus 5b will cancel. So I get 8a plus 8a, which is 16a. Here plus 8a and minus 8a will cancel. So I get simply minus 10b. Here on the right hand side, these two cancel. So I get 16c. And here these two cancel. So I get minus 10d. Okay. Now from these two sides, 16 and 16 will cancel. Minus 10 and minus 10 will cancel. So you simply get a by b is equal to c by d. Proved. Understood? Here the only difference between the solution that I have given you here is that I have taken the plus sign on top and the minus sign below. Here I have taken the minus sign above, plus sign below. Okay, no problem. Ultimately the minus, if you are getting a minus here, I am not getting a minus sign. See, am I getting a minus sign here? I'm not getting, but here I am getting a minus sign. But ultimately what happens? These minus sign cancel. Okay, any problem with any step?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so
No,
let us
sir.
work out this. Try to understand this problem. It is given to you that x is equal to 8ab by a plus b. Okay, and you have to find out the value of x plus 4a by x minus 4a and x plus 4b divided by x minus 4b. Okay, now if you see these two fractions, this fraction or this fraction, if you see that you have a plus b type in the numerator, a minus b type in the denominator. Similarly here, a plus c plus d type, and then you have c minus d type. That means in order to get this a plus b, a minus b, c plus d, c minus d, you must have a proportion like this: a by b is equal to c by d. So which clearly means that you must, in this case, if you see this fraction, if you have x by 4a is equal to something, then you can write x plus 4a by component and dividend. You can write x plus 4a by x minus 4a. Similarly, if you have x by 4b is equal to something, then you can write x plus 4b divided by x minus 4b is equal to something, isn't it? Now you add up these two to get your answer, because you have to find out the value of this x plus 4a by x minus 4a plus x plus 4b by x minus 4b. Okay, so let us try to find out x by 4a, what the value of x by 4a is from the given proportion. What is the given proportion? X is equal to 8ab by a plus b. So what I do is, since I need a 4a below x, I break up this 8ab as 2a into let's say 2b 2b into 4a. Okay, divided by a plus b. Now I can write x by 4a, because I need this fraction, is equal to 2b by a plus b. Okay. Now I'm going to use componendo and dividendo. So I'll first write by componendo and dividendo. By componendo and dividendo, x plus 4a, this is my first fraction, divided by x minus 4a. Okay. Addition of numerator, addition and subtraction of numerator and denominator for the first fraction. For the second fraction, you do the same. Numerator plus denominator divided by numerator minus denominator. So that the value of x plus 4a by x minus 4a is, let me write separately here. That means x plus 4a by x minus 4a must be equal to, open the brackets, 2b plus a plus b by 2b minus a minus b. So this is a plus 3b, and this is b minus a. Okay, this is what I get the value of x plus 4a by x minus 4a. Call this 1. Again, considering the same fraction, x is equal to 8ab by a plus b. Given proportion, x is equal to 8ab by a plus b. Okay, now in this, again, see, I need x plus 4b by x minus 4b. So what I do is, I break 8b as, right, 4b first, and then what is required? I need only 2a divided by a plus b. That means x by 4b must be equal to 2a by a plus b. Now by component and dividendo again, we have x plus 4b by x minus 4b is equal to 2a plus a plus b by 2a minus a minus b. That means x plus 4b by x minus 4b is equal to 2a, open the brackets, 2a plus b by 2a minus a plus b. That means ultimately what you get is x plus 4b by x minus 4b is equal to 3a plus b by a plus b. Okay, so this is a plus b, a plus b, so this will become minus. Okay, so that again this sign will be a minus sign. Okay, so I've got this, call this 2. Now if you add these two, see I've added here, if you add these two, you will get the value of this. So what do you get in the denominator? You have a b minus a. See, in the denominator you have a b minus a here, and in the denominator you have an a minus b. Now I want to make the denominator same. So what I do is, I take a minus sign from this denominator, I take a minus sign out. So this becomes my b minus a. And in the next step what happens? Plus and minus will give you a minus sign. So that now my denominators are same. Now I take the LCM to get the value 2. Any problem?